So my name is Susan Bantu. I'm often known as the career mentor. Um, but today I'll be talking about something different. It's also part of career mentoring. And one of the things I want to talk about is entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship has to do with starting your own business. And I just want to talk about my journey being in business. And one of the things I've found out is that you need to be very passionate about your business. And I'll talk about my journey, what really happened. So first of all, I started off starting this fumigation business. And I was eradicating all these pests in your house and doing all this fumigation. And I had this product which I just discovered from China, which was working very well and getting rid of every bag in your house. That worked for me for some time until it flooded the market. So I decided to back off. Of course, I made a bit of money during that period, so I backed off and decided, well, now, because many people have come into the market and I don't have a lot of profits I'm going to make from this business. So I moved on to the next thing, where I started a vegetable business called Wiki Veggies. And Wiki Veggies for me was really something that I wasn't sure I really wanted to do, but I was doing it because I needed the money. So I started supplying fruits, vegetables to homes. And so I started this company and I was supplying foods between Langata, Karen area, and I was doing it myself. So I'd put everything in my car, all the orders in my car, drive around, make drops and things like that. But at the end of the day, I was exhausted. I didn't want to do that anymore. I remember I just blocked that particular number and just stopped it altogether because it was just too tiring. I wasn't really into it, and so I just let it go. Then came the next business. I started a shoe business. Of course, I love shoes, so I decided, well, maybe I should sell shoes. So I got a connection and got all these shoes I was selling and started a shop. And I was selling, I called it Happy Feet, and it was a good business and was bringing me quite a bit of money. Because ladies love shoes, and even more I discovered men actually buy shoes, especially the younger ones if we target them. So I sold the shoes, I started this shop, it continued expanding. I even got a second shop and brought in my relatives to help me be able to sell in my shop. And I realized that was the biggest mistake I did. I was trying to provide jobs for people at home, and I brought them in. Well, that's where it went down. You can guess what happened. My money started disappearing, shoes started disappearing, my accounts were not working anymore, everything was just not working out for me, and I lost so much money. So I closed shop. Imagine. I closed shop. Then decided, you know what? I don't think business is for me. Then within no time, because I love business, I started selling duvets. So I was going for all these duvets and sold to my entire estate and to people, and I just got tired of having to put all those duvets in a pickup and walking around and delivering them. I was just tired. Then, since I'm the business person I am, I decided to start another business. Now this time I decided to go for something that I'm happy, that I really love. I love African fabrics. As you can see in the background in my house, I've got African fabrics on my seats everywhere. And so I decided, you know what? Let me go for something that I really love. I love wearing African fabrics, so I went for it. And wow, I'm still doing it till now. And one of the things I did was I started off by buying a few fabrics here in Kenya, then realized actually people know quality. About which African fabrics to buy and which ones not to buy. So I decided, okay, let me scale this up. So I started going to West Africa. So I get my fabrics from West Africa. I go to Dakar, Senegal. I go to Ghana. I've gone to Ivory Coast, and get all these fabrics. And when I came back with them, surprise on me. People were just waiting for me, grabbed all these pieces of fabrics and they loved them, and they're asking me about African fabrics because it was very good quality. Woe unto COVID-19, I'm on hold a bit now. I'm just selling the last few pieces right now, but I hope to travel when everything opens up, and the issue with COVID-19 has been scaled down a bit. But that's why I actually got you know, the thing I really want to do. And I started my Africa fabrics business, which is called Hausa Treasures. It's online. But then there's one other thing I realized. It is the first business where I started accounting. The rest I was sort of making money, writing in a few books. The next thing I've written a bit of the money and things like that. So I went to Jumia Kenya, and that's where Jumia sort of helped me with my accounting system, because all I needed to do was not run a shop. I didn't involve any of my relatives and things like that. I would have my products at home. All I needed to do was give the product to a rider, and then off they take it to Jumia. And at Jumia, then they'll sort out and give me my accounts, get their percentage, whatever it is. And I was able to run a business that way because I was in control of it. And even when I brought somebody else in, was not to sell for me physically, but to make sure the products were moving, because I also work. So that for me has really worked. And some of the lessons I would like to impart to some of you is that I think go for a business that you have passion about, because every time I go for a fabric out of the country, I always go for fabrics I know I would wear, things that I know I would appreciate as a person. So I'm very passionate about what I bring into the country. The other thing is that if you're setting up a business, if you're trying to set up a business when you're working, wait for a time when maybe you're on leave or summer holiday, or a long time when you have some time to develop the business, so that you're always there and you know exactly how it moves, how products move, so nobody can cheat you into it. The other thing I would advise is, if you've got third-party companies that can be able to help you to be able to manage your sales and things like that, please go for it, especially if you're working. But if you're there, wow, businesses run well if you're the one running them. But if you can't, please just outsource to a third company. That might work for you better. The other thing is make sure that you try to avoid relatives in your business. I'm not saying don't employ your relatives, but sometimes I know some of us have stories to tell. They get too comfortable with us. Sometimes there are jealousy issues that come up, and you might end up losing your business or even bringing it down because of relatives who are not really qualified to do your business. So be very careful. If you bring them in, it's fine. If that's what worked for you, that's okay. But for me, it didn't work. I'm not going to do that anymore. Let me give them some bit of pocket change, but I'll look for them another job. But my business, I found that doesn't work at all. And for me, working from home, there's no rent that I'm paying. The only thing I pay is a commission to my third-party company. So I think that works out for me very well. So I just thought to give you some bit of advice from somebody who has done a couple of businesses. Some of them have not mentioned here, but I think the Hausa Treasures, the company, the African fabric business, is what worked for me, and for the reasons that I've just given you. So anyway, that's my advice for you. I often give a lot of advice on careers. In case you're interested, just go to my YouTube channel, My Career Mentor with Sue, and you'll find a lot of advice for people on different careers, different businesses, and things like that. Thank you for listening and watching. Thank you.